Hello again, welcome to my channel. Right, last time we talked about the concept of atom in relation to element. We talked about proton, neutron, electron. We talked about we talked about group, right, and period, how the rows and column in periodic table. Today I want to quickly talk about the periodic table just briefly. I have some interesting analogy for you. I'll be looking at my notes. So when you see my eyes twitching towards the other side, just know I'm trying to check my notes. Okay, so when you see a periodic table, you wonder what is all this. For a non-science student, it'd be like, the person is like, what is all this? Why do you have a lot of symbols? Why do you have all these things? And how did they come about this? How did they group them into this? So I will quickly dig into this and just briefly talk about it. So let's look at the periodic table. Periodic table, let me liken it to a family reunion photo session, right? A family reunion. You have black, you have white, you have caramel skin, you have chocolate skin as an African, you have different color, right? A family reunion photo. So people will sit across in rows and they will sit across in columns, right? Just to have a clear structure, right? And so that people can be visible enough according to the rows and columns. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So let's look at it this way. When you look at the rows, you have row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, right? Looking at these rows, you can liken it to the family generations. Generation 1, generation 2, generation 3, right? You can liken it to that. That makes it simple, right? Then as we go down, you have, let's say we look at the first generation. Just an example, the first generation, the father and the mother, right? Then they have 4 kids. Then the next generation will be behind them, 4, right? Just an example now. Now, that 4 means that they also get married, have kids, then they have another generation behind them. That's how it get bigger. Elements in each row, okay, get bigger with their atom, okay, just as they progress in this generation. So in row 1, you have a small atom. Then in row 2, you have a bigger atom. In row 3, you have a bigger atom. In row 4, you have a bigger atom. Do you understand me now? So that's how it works. Then we have what we call column. That means group. That means as you come down, right? Group 1, group 2. That's how they are standing, right? So these ones are like cousins. They share similar traits, right? Similar family trait. They are just like cousins, right? They tend to behave in the same way, okay? I'll share an example. I have a cousin of mine that we almost look alike. We look the same. We talk almost the same, right? And we share some similarity when it comes to personal relationship, when it comes to interacting with people. Okay, so that's the same thing with column, right? They behave the same way. They have similar traits when it comes to chemical reactions, right? And they behave the same way. Let me give an example. If you look at the element towards the far right, they are considered the noble gases. Some consider them inert gases. Why? Because they are like the introvert of the family. They don't like talking. They don't like talking too much. They don't like reacting too much. So they are considered, okay, let's put them there. So you have elements in that group they share the same similarity. They are introvert, quote and unquote now, in nature. Then we have the metals. On the periodic table, we have the metals and you have the non-metals. And metals are mostly on the left, right? Where non-metals are mostly on the right. So someone will ask again, why? What do you mean by mostly? Because on the left, we have elements like hydrogen that behaves like a non-metal, but is under metal. You understand? So that's how they say mostly. Okay, so for metals, metals like to quickly, they like doing giveaway. I don't know if you understand what giveaway means. That means they are a good giver. They like to give away their electron. Okay, they like to give away their electron quickly. Okay, then non-metals are the one that like to take. They like to take. Those one are the right side. Excuse me, on the right side of the periodic table, they like to take. They like taking. The left like to give. The right like to take. Okay. Then in between, I talked about left and right. Then in between the periodic table, we have the metalloids. The metalloids are neither here nor there. It depends on the situation. They can give, they can take. They are always in between. They don't care. If you need, they give. If they need, they take. Okay? So that's how they behave. So that is that about periodic table. And I hope I've been able to help someone to understand what periodic table looks like, how they were grouped, so that I don't look at these symbols and say, what is all this? Okay, you can easily predict what we have on the periodic table, how they behave, and how they arrived at these groupings. Thank you so much. See you in the next class. I mean you. Bye. Love you.